Hello everyone, and thank you for watching this video. In this video I'm going to do a roundup basically of the Canon 100-400 Mark II lens. So let's talk about the lens a little bit. It's been 15 years since the last one came out. Main difference is this new one has a twist zoom action, the old one has basically an old pumpy action. And the old one was known for collecting possibly dust particles. So the new one has 4 stops of IS, 3 image stabilization modes, a 5.6 aperture at 400 mils. However, the actual millimeter that you're actually getting out of the lens is realistically closer to 383 millimeters. In this video, I just wanted to talk about the lens that I've been reviewing in my other videos. And there has been some criticism about my reviews, saying the tests are not fair. Personally, I think that's a load of rubbish. I've basically had a studio set up, as you can see behind me. I have photographed a Cylon doll character in a controlled environment. I photographed a Star Trek model, like so, in the test, and I think it's a fair representation of the speed of the AF focusing on the 100-400 Mark II lens. Now, it is possible, and I did think about this, that the lens I got was a bad copy. So what did I do? I'll tell you what I went. I went to a local camera shop called Jessop's. I went to Sheffield, Meadowhall, as you can see in the image above. And I decided to take my 7D camera with me, and I tested one. This one was a UK version of the lens rather than a grey import, but they're the same lens, and I tested the lens, and as you can see in this image, this is an example of what I photographed. Now, I tested the focusing, I watched the focusing, and I can tell you something, the focusing was the same as the lens I've been testing at home. So, my roundup is, I'm disappointed with the focusing speed. It is quite slow. Now, in comparison, I tested it alongside a 150-600 Sigma contemporary lens. I can tell you the contemporary was quicker at focusing. Now, it may have something to do with the fact that it has less movement in the focusing than the Canon does, because the Canon can focus down to 98 centimeters. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, I think the focus speed on the 400 Mark II lens is slow, and I mean slow. That's my opinion. When I compare it to my 300mm f4 lens with a 2x teleconverter, that focuses quicker. And I have noticed that the Canon zoom lens does have issues with suddenly going out of focus when you're trying to track a bird. And when I mean out of focus, I mean well out of focus. To the point where you have to take manual control to try and get it back where it needs to be. So, my overview and review of the new Canon lens is it's good optical quality. Don't get me wrong, it's very close probably to the 400 5.6 prime lens. However, in my opinion, it is extremely slow at focusing. So if you need something that's going to be quick, I would advise you to possibly look at the Sigma zoom lenses or a prime. And that's my honest opinion. Some people might not like that opinion, but the fact of the matter is, it is very slow in focusing. It's probably fine in the studio environment. Don't see it being an issue in a studio environment, the speed, because it's not an issue. But when you're focusing on wildlife, it could be an issue. And for me, it's too slow to be usable. You know, sometimes you might think having a slightly softer image on a camera that can focus quickly is better than getting a blurry image on a sharp lens. Well, it's up to you what you think of these reviews that I've done, but to clarify, I have basically double checked this by getting a second lens from a local camera shop and testing the focusing speed, because I wasn't sure if it was my lens that was a bad copy, you know. So that's my review of the 100 to 400 Mark II lens. I'll put a list of all the other videos I've done in the description box. Have a watch of them, but they are honest reviews, and thank you for your time.